What's going on there, guys? We back with another one, and today, man, Stephen A. Smith, he came in and gave his thoughts on this whole Kyrie Irving saga, guys. Stephen A. was not happy because he had just given Kyrie some praise yesterday on his show for standing up for what he believed in and playing great basketball right now, and where the Brooklyn Nets were headed when they are fully healthy. Well, Kyrie has come out and requested a trade. Stephen A. Smith called in to Malika on NBA Today and gave his take, and this is what he had to say.
What do you think of this trade request?
Idiotic. Let's get that out the way. Here's a guy in Kyrie Irving that for the last 3 years who's gotten most of his money but missed more than 50% of his games. Enters the last year after this offseason. Obviously, the situation that he got himself into early is unfortunate, but he resurrected himself from that. Was playing spectacular basketball, leading both together amongst guards for the All-Star game. Playing outstanding basketball and reminding everybody what an absolute flat-out superstar basketball player he is. No one questioned that. All we ever questioned was, can the man go the rest of the season without being any kind of distraction if he's going to have a chance to get his money? And lo and behold, he pulls this. And why? Because the Brooklyn Nets had the temerity, the unmitigated gall, to say, play the season. We'll see. Because we haven't had you for a full season without any drama. And here he is again. For a guy that's looking for a long-term deal from another team, there is no question about what you're getting when Kyrie Irving is on the basketball court. The only question mark regarding him is his commitment to not being a distraction and to going out there and performing. And the fact that he's made headlines with this, all it did was serve to remind everybody out there he's spectacular. We'd love to have him in our uniform so long as we don't have to make a long-term investment in him because he cannot be trusted. He just reminded the basketball world of that.
So, Stephen A., if you're a GM for some of the teams that we've talked about that have the space to trade for Kyrie Irving, the Clippers, the Lakers, the Mavericks, the Heat, as some of those teams, would you do it? Would you make that deal?
It depends on what I'm getting rid of in return for his services. If I'm getting a superior basketball player, and in the midst of all of that, I'm getting rid of players and contracts that I don't want on my docket, sure. But that's entirely different, Malika, than making a long-term commitment in him. Because you're not obligated to do that just because you trade for him. He can talk about where he wants to go all he wants to. But if there's not a market for him to get a long-term contract, then he has to accept whether it's staying in Brooklyn or going wherever he ends up going. Because there's not a market out there for somebody that's willing to give him a long-term deal. That's the situation. He doesn't have the leverage that he thinks he has.
I'm looking at our news bar. It says that Kyrie has maintained interest in the Los Angeles Lakers. Before we let you go, Stephen A., your thoughts on a potential reunion between LeBron James and Kyrie Irving?
That would be absolutely spectacular if the Lakers were able to pull it off. But in order to do that, they'd have to send away probably Russell Westbrook. If you do that to get the $47 million off your books, Brooklyn would have to reunite KD with Russell Westbrook. How you think KD gonna feel about that?
Right.
And so regardless of what everybody is saying, I consider that scenario highly unlikely. Impossible? No, but highly unlikely. I'd love to see Kyrie Irving in Tinseltown with LeBron and Anthony Davis and see what that materializes into. But the bottom line is the Lakers would have to give up a haul to get him. The Brooklyn Nets would have to accept and embrace that haul, and that's a lot to expect. So I consider that to be a highly unlikely scenario.
Stephen A., thank you so much for joining us here on NBA Today. So much more from Stephen A., his thoughts on this trade request coming up tomorrow on First Take.
So, guys, to me, this trade is going to come down to what his team's really comfortable parting ways with? What are they willing to get up to get Kyrie? I think the Nets aren't going to do anything that's not in their best interest because, look, yeah, they want to trade Kyrie, especially if he's told them, he's going to walk next year if he doesn't. So, yeah, you do want some sort of return, but I think that value has diminished. Although he's, starting an all-star game, I feel that value probably has diminished at this point compared to where it was 2 years ago. If you were to try to trade Kyrie before any of this stuff went down, I mean, I'm pretty sure you could have got whatever you wanted. But the team, they want to make sure they aren't just moving just to get someone they'll end up stuck with for a long time. I think draft picks, if you could get some intriguing draft picks, they'll take a big contract like maybe a Russell Westbrook. Even though it'll be reuniting him with KD, I think that they know that KD wants out too. So I don't think they mind that as much, and they'll just eat that since it's an expiring contract. But the thing here is first round picks. What do you have in first round picks that you're willing to part ways with, so we can make this thing work? Because I don't think they're even looking at like great veteran players or nothing like that. I think they want to stash draft picks, and if they smart, they'll get what OKC got out of it. Even if you don't get like lottery picks, if you get a few years worth of first round picks, and then they can, and I'm talking about unprotected. They probably want some unprotected first round picks so that they can get who they want in these upcoming drafts. If you do that, then yeah, I probably could do something with you as far as trading Kyrie. But as far as them moving when he wants them to move as an organization, they don't have to do that. Now, at the same time, Brooklyn has to eat this because they made this mess. You said you want to run it back after KD requested a trade. You want to run it back with Kyrie and KD, and you didn't pay them. You had to know that this wasn't going to end well. You know what I'm saying? You just had to know it wasn't going to end well. So Brooklyn is receiving exactly what they deserve as well. So I'm not saying it's one way. I understand both sides, but hey, this mess has been brewing for a long time, and now it's coming to a head. You're not going to win with KD and Kyrie. This right here, you're not going to have a team focused enough to win a championship. You look at everybody around them, they know they don't have a leader on the team. So what do you expect from the Nick Claxtons and guys like that when you get in the playoffs? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, though. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time. Peace.